Hi everyone, I'm Josh. I wanted to share with you some updates of our worm bin. Now I started this a couple months ago, but I wanted to show you what it looks like now and kind of tell you about what I experienced while setting it up and up until this point. So one of the first things that I noticed is that the worms were pretty active, meaning they were going up the sides a little bit, just starting to get settled in. And for the bedding, because it's newspaper, and newspaper dries out pretty quickly. So for about the first 2 weeks, almost daily I had to use the spray bottle here. Got one that works. So I was spraying the newspaper bedding just about daily to make sure that it's the right moisture content to keep them happy. There are a couple nights where I wanted to keep a lamp over them just to keep them down, but after that first week or two, they were just doing just fine. So I was cutting up the fruits and vegetables really small, digging to the bottom of the bin and feeding them there, kind of sporadically. And the amount of bedding that I added was just a little on the too shy. Because over time, as the newspaper starts to get wet and they start to break it down a little bit, it started to compress, making it easier for flies to get to, which is why I added more bedding. So I shredded up some new newspaper. That's why it looks different from the bottom than it does at the top of the fluffier stuff. So I added new bedding, and that greatly helped. I haven't seen them come up the sides since, and took care of the fruit flies using a fruit fly trap, which I took a glass jar and I filled about halfway with apple cider vinegar because they're very attracted to the sweetness of the apple cider vinegar. I also added a couple drops of dish soap, and that breaks the surface tension of it, so when the flies try to drink from it, they end up just sinking. And so that really helped. So if you have a fruit fly problem, that's one way you can help solve them. But hopefully you have more bedding, about 6 to 8 inches of bedding, just to keep them away so they don't either hatch or are attracted to your bin. So now there's a couple of modifications I want to make to this. Besides adding more bedding, what I want to do is I want to make sure that they're eating the bedding very consistently, which means feeding them in different locations just about every time. So to help with that, I made this little chart here. I broke it up into 6 different sections. This will rest right on top of the bin. I'll tape it down. Make sure that the lid goes on the bin in the same orientation to the bin itself. So it's an accurate representation of where I fed them last. And so what I'll do, I'll keep a pencil with this, and I can just mark the date and what I fed them or how much, and in the plot of where I fed them. So the next time I can just go over one and keep going around in a circle like that, just to make sure the worms are moving around and that they're eating the bedding evenly. What I haven't seen yet are the cocoons from the worms, meaning they're reproducing. So I haven't really seen many of those yet. I'm assuming they're still getting settled in and waiting for it to be kind of more like soil conditions before they start reproducing. For that, I'm not too worried at the moment. We'll check back in a few weeks, month or more, to see if that has changed, and I'm hoping so. But otherwise, I'm pretty sure they're happy. Again, they're not trying to escape. I haven't seen them up on the sides at all, so that tells me that they're doing pretty well. So that's a quick look on how the worm bin is doing. We'll check back in a few weeks to show how it's changed between now and then. But until then, if you have any other composting questions, you can visit our website, ccebroomcounty.com/environment, or you can email or call me directly, and my contact info, again, is on that website.